You know what we are up against, but you have the truth. You have the tools to combat the lies. The light, the revelation that you have, it shines in the darkness, and it exposes everything that is being hidden, that is deceiving Americans, and that is ultimately destroying our lives and our children's future. Is that a picture of me smoking a cigar? What is this? That's adorable.
It seems like every time it gets cold around here, we have to have this inane national conversation about the difference between climate and weather. So seeing as it's currently 23 degrees Fahrenheit in Houston, Texas, where I am, it seems that this conversation is once again upon us. Lauren Boebert posted on X, quote, "You've got to appreciate the irony of climate protesters trudging through a foot of snow and negative 30-degree wind chills to yell about how the planet is warming." Several people then responded to the Congresswoman, some shaming her for making ignorant and opportunistic comments, and some earnestly trying to correct whatever misunderstanding she may have surrounding climate change. They're very sweet to presume that this is a knowledge gap issue. Personally, I refuse to believe that a congressperson from Colorado doesn't understand the difference between climate and weather, but I've been burned before. It's such a simple thing to understand, but people will really go out of their way to not hear something that they don't want to hear. But still, shouldn't we be holding our congresspeople to higher standards? This is something that's literally taught to children in elementary schools, or at least it was back in my day, which would have also been Lauren Boebert's day. Anyway, I shouldn't have to explain this, but I will just tell you what one user on X responded to her with. Quote, "The irony is your misunderstanding of global warming. It's not just about the Earth getting hotter, it's about extreme weather patterns as the Earth tries to adapt. This includes intensified cold spells, erratic rainfall, heavy snow, and more, all symptoms of climate change." And all of you here watching this, I'm sure already know all of that, and Lauren Boebert doesn't care about any of it. The frustrating part of all of this is that the more we're engaged in these pointless conversations, the less anything is being done. If only we lived in a world where a fact was taken as a fact and then things were done accordingly. We could have discussions about what should be done, of course, but debating whether or not a real provable thing is a real provable thing is mind-numbing.
What do you think about climate change?
I just think it's all fake for their money and to keep, like the virus, they lock us down and everything else, take things from us.
It's a pretty hot day today, right?
Yeah, it's hot. But
it's the all-time record for this date in Milwaukee.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm just here to support Trump, but
Did you catch a little bit of heat stroke earlier?
yeah, I sure did. But I'll be all right.
What do you think about global warming?
I just don't believe it. I think it's all fake.
The longer they can keep the conversation going, the less they have to actually address the real provable problem. Not only that, but as long as this is just a conversation, it can be used as campaign fodder. It's a reason for people to engage in the political discourse, for people to self-divide into factions, and for people to vote for one party over the other. In the meantime, people are literally dying. Ecosystems are literally being destroyed. Average people are left helpless with few meaningful options as to not participate in the active destruction of our planet. Some uneducated people will say, "How funny that you criticize the oil and gas industry while driving a car." Those same people won't acknowledge the fact that in order to function in society in most places in this country, you have to drive a car. They've stripped us of our options. They've taken our autonomy by giving us choices that realistically aren't choices at all. For instance, if I were to leave my house, I would probably have to walk for at least an hour before stumbling upon a bus stop. Taking a bus for me is not a feasible or realistic option, nor is walking anywhere. Yes, you can drive an electric car rather than a gas vehicle, but have you seen how much electric vehicles are going for these days? They're way out of most people's budgets. And electric cars, while arguably better for the environment, aren't the golden solution to the man-made climate change that it's sometimes touted as being. And in a perfect world where we didn't have lawmakers who were beholden to the oil and gas industry, we could actually be having more productive conversations around solutions to the problem those same lawmakers have created and have allowed to perpetuate. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out my podcast, Modern Context. Thanks.